Site-specific dance performance for me is an interrelationship of many components of performance and many elements coming together. In stage work you have the set space, so it's very defined. You know what that space is, how it's been used before. It has been used for theater or dance performance, and the audience all sits in one direction and they all face the stage or the place, and the lights go down. It's very traditional. There's a certain tradition, and it colors and it shapes how we see and what we perceive as performance. With site-specific work, it opens up a whole range of possibilities, and it integrates not just what you're seeing in this space, but your connection to the space on a personal level, on a historic level, and then also on an interdisciplinary level. Because, well, for me as a choreographer and a dancer, I'm purely, I mean, the core of my impulses come through movement, a movement impulse, and that is often the core and the center. And with site-specific work, there's all these other considerations that create this dialogue with movement that I really enjoy and I feel is the essence of my creative process and collaborative process. So there's a real interconnection between movement, sound, and place. And each one of those can be explored in relationship to the other two. One can be dominant, or the other two are in the back, and then it changes. But really they're equal components. In the end, they're all equal, and it's not that one is more important. So the place shapes and creates and is completely integrated into the piece. The piece could not be performed anywhere else. It could only be performed in that one site, because it is so integrated and so much a part of the process and the performance. And for me, I feel this kind of work, site-specific work, is so exciting because it really affects people's experience in a place, and it can trigger memories or connect in really unexpected ways. And often people may know of a place, and then they see a site-specific work there, and it changes. And then when they come back, they have a new connection and a new memory with that place. And I find that very rewarding as an artist, to engage in that kind of dialogue and that kind of interaction in the creative process. And for me, I'm very interested in sound, and I'm very tuned to spatial and visual relationships. So sometimes through site-specific work, when there's no ceiling, and well, there is sometimes, if you're outside, when you're outside there's no ceiling. In here there's a ceiling. But even metaphorically, there isn't a ceiling on ideas. There's not a limit to what is relevant to the performance. Everything becomes relevant. The sounds that are happening naturally in the space, the movement that's happening inherently in the space. So in a way, the performance can augment what is already there, it can dialogue with what is there, and I think it kind of tunes me as an artist, and also the audience, I think, to their surroundings, to the environment, and to our deep connection to our surroundings. There's nothing separate. We are deeply connected to our surroundings. And as a choreographer, I also enjoy this play with space, visual and kinesthetic, and the feeling of things very close and very far, and seeing through. And there's all these new possibilities that I can explore in the process, in sight work, that just is not possible on the stage, or a theater, or a traditional performing arena. And it just makes me think about this project, which is like a site-specific artist's dream come true, because of on so many levels, architecturally and historically and personally and visually and emotionally, because it's a home. It really, everybody can connect to a home. We all have a feeling of house or of home. And then for me to be in Japan for the first time and experience this traditional house through collaborating with Roko Kawai and Hideo Asai and Mika, I don't know her last name, is a wonderful opportunity for me. I have a long and wonderful collaborative history with Roko, and I've known her for so long, but I've never been to Japan. So that's very special for me in this project, to come to Japan with Roko and engage in this creative process. And what I enjoy about site-specific work is what I learn through the process about the place that I'm working in. And this house, of course, is not only not an exception, it is like the epitome of that process of learning the stories and the histories, and sleeping in the room where Nobuko was born and her mother was born, and knowing how much happened in this house, and then living here and working here. It's really a profound site-specific creative process that's taking me further as an artist, and I'm really grateful.